We will do the other questions later, but before we end, I really want to discuss with you about the gender issues.
Okay.
About the equality of men and women and how they were treated when what is given in our Vedas about it.
Well, in the Vedas we have rishis and rishipatnis. In the Vedas we have women seers. There are so many famous women seers who defeated the men in debate, who won accolades from all the population for their knowledge and for their inspiration. They even became goddesses. We worship the gods and the goddesses. In fact, in the Hindu Dharma, there is only 3 brahmacharis. All the rest of the gods and goddesses are married. Bhishma, Hanuma, and what's the third? One more. And all of the gods and goddesses have to remind them that they're gods. Now, today, because of society and actually our history, it became something less than that. Because in the old Vedic sculptures, in the Puranas even, we find that both males and women were very lightly dressed.
Yeah.
They weren't clothed very, very much. They weren't all covered up.
Yeah, I think even in our temples, if we see the old temples, we will see the sculpture which are very covered.
Someone just sent me photos from Khajuraho. That the whole community was almost naked. And these were not considered to be profane, or they weren't pornographic. This was the standard of the society. Actually, it was a period of time during the Muslim occupation where women were not safe, and so they started covering up more and more and more, and now we're breaking ourselves free from after the Muslim came the Victorian era, where modesty, covering up was considered a standard of modesty, but it didn't mean that women were relegated to a lower position. Not in the least. We have many temples honoring women and honoring goddesses and honoring the nature of women. For example, like Kamakya Temple, Kamakshi. Many of the temples, they honor women in all of their nature, in all of their glory. And they don't say that anything is profane or anything is off limits. It's to be regarded as with the highest respect. I believe in getting the job done. I don't worry if it's done by a woman or done by a man. I want the job done. Then I can take rest.
So what are your ideas when, like, men of today, they say that, this is woman's job. Staying in the kitchen is woman's job. Cleaning the house is woman's job. My job is to go out and work. It's not yours.
I would be very pleased to find such a man who would say that to me. I would be very pleased. I would be so happy to stay home and just make a few chapatis and then spend the rest of my time in worship and study and improving myself. However, I think these men are very foolish and they're insecure. And because of their insecurity, they're propagating such thoughts. Because everything is all of our jobs. As a family, we have to get the job done. And I won't look to who does it and who does not. The gender of the individual who helps me. I know I built some ashrams, and when you pick up, ashrams are very heavy. You have to pick up a lot of things. Bags of cement, pieces of wood. When you pick up a piece of wood, you want someone on the other end to help balance it and carry it. And when you're picking up something heavy and someone comes to help, you don't look to see, is that a man or a woman, and is she qualified or not? Or is she wearing the right clothing in order to do the job? You say, thank you for helping. I would say that men who try to put women down because of their gender and try to define a place where women belong because of their gender, or activities in which they can participate because of their gender, I think they're feeling very insecure and they haven't lifted the piece of wood. Because once you've lifted the piece of wood, you won't ask, who is helping me? You'll say, thank you. I'll help you.
So is there any advice that you would give these kind of men who are insecure so that they can face their insecurities and have a perspective of what you're sharing right now?
Yes, I could say pick up a piece of wood. Do the job. I would say do the job and see where you get help, and don't look to the gender of the helper. Look to the quality of the help. Whether it be a legal problem or a physical problem, we all need help. And I wouldn't look to the gender of the helper. And if you do, your job won't be completed. So that would be the advice I would give to men who are discriminating against women. Now, the advice I would give to women who feel themselves discriminated against is remember the examples of your life. My own Ishtadeva is a goddess. She is the example. She's the guru to me of what I could become if I really strive. I could become a goddess too. And I don't see that there's any difference between Shiva and Shakti. If I become divine, I lose all concept of gender. So I would say to women who feel themselves discriminated against, don't fall for it. Don't submit to it. You have a duty to fulfill your destiny as much as the male has a duty to fulfill his. And there's no reason to participate in such subjugation. There's just no value to it. Let's all see how we can work together and get the job done. That's the goal. Not to say, oh, the boys did it and the girls didn't. That's childish. That's my position about gender.
Thank you. That would be
Om Swami Saraswati.